Hello, delegates. Welcome to the United Nations International Labour Organization's webinar for the first virtual EAMUNC International Conference 2020. My name is Aditya Sharma, and I will be serving as the president of UNILO for this conference. During the course of this webinar, you'll be briefed on committee procedures, position papers, and the process of resolution making. We'll also introduce the topic at hand that is scheduled to be discussed during the committee sessions.
Hi delegates, I am Khushi Shah. I will be serving as the Vice President of UNILO for the first virtual EAMUNC Conference 2020. As Vice President of this committee, it is my honor to welcome you all to a memorable conference. I will be assisting the Bureau and the President of the committee in ensuring that every procedure and agenda flows peacefully and that the delegates do not digress from the topic.
Hey delegates, I am Shrestha Balgopal, serving as a rapporteur for UNILO for the virtual conference 2020. I hope you are able to have a memorable conference. I will be aiding in the digital flow of the committee and ensure a smooth flow of committee proceedings.
Okay, delegates, let's talk about what you're supposed to do prior to the conference before going into the committee specifics, that is your research and position papers. The background guide is a good place to start your research. However, it is imperative to understand that it alone is in no way sufficient in order to produce fruitful discussions while in session. I recommend that all delegates look into the past actions of your respective allocations, policies, needs, and wants of your allocations and any national or international organizations with regard to the given topics and thoroughly analyze its advantages and loopholes. This is sure to give you an upper hand in the resolution-making process. Delegates, this would help you relate to your respective allocated positions and will make you come up with ideas for development. This is also an alternative preparation strategy for delegates who are finding it difficult to access the required information of your own delegation. This was all with regard to your substantive preparation, but your functional preparation is also equally important for the smooth flow of committee procedures. I urge you all to thoroughly study the rules of procedure. You will be briefed on the same before the beginning of the committee session, and if you're still not clear, do feel free to approach us and we will explain it to you. After you have done your basic research and reading about your topic and allocated positions, you can move to writing your position paper.
A position paper essentially explains your opinion on the issue. Writing a position paper will help you organize your ideas so that you can share the views of your appointed position with the rest of the committee. It is broadly divided into three parts: introduction, your stand, and possible suggestions. Your introductory paragraph can contain a general overview of the issue on an international stand. The aspect of the issue that affects your state the most can also be a part of your introduction. In the next part of your position paper, you have to explain your allocated position, stand on the issue, and a few existing policies. The paragraph deals with the present situation with regard to this issue and past actions taken. Keep in mind that this section is your position paper will be exclusive to your country. The third and final part of your position paper deals with possible solutions to the issue at hand. This will be the most important part of your position paper as it showcases your ideas and opinions, what you feel is the best course of action. In EAMUNC, we are more focused on arriving at a consensual solution than on cutthroat debate. Hence, this is a part of your position paper that will probably help you the most during your conference. Your position paper must be about a page long. You can take it to 1.5 pages, including bibliography, but try not exceeding that, as that will cause a lot of inconvenience for us. You can use the font Times New Roman and font size 12. Please note that your position paper should be in paragraphs, minimum 3. At the end of your position paper, you need to mention your bibliography, that is, names of sites or links that you have visited in order to write your paper, essentially your source of information. The Bureau suggests the delegates to prevent their research based on unrecognized resources. Remember that it is extremely important to include all the sites that you've used in the bibliography. Please note that direct plagiarism is strictly forbidden and will not be tolerated.
Coming to the committee sessions, the ILO is an agency which plays a major role in establishing labor standards for workers all around the world. The member states of the ILO convene annually at the International Labour Conference. The ILO is special and unique from other United Nations agencies, the General Assemblies, and the ECOSOC. At the International Labour Conference, every member state is represented by 3 delegates: the workers' group, the employers, and the government itself. This tripartite system is the factor which makes ILO unique. In actual practice, the government is represented by 2 different delegates, but for maintaining equal number of delegates in each party, 1 delegate will represent the government in this conference.
A single delegate is elected at the beginning of the conference from each of the body of workers, employers, and government representatives, called vice chairpersons. Only the vice chairperson is allowed to speak when taken permission or called upon to do so. The vice chairperson's role can be changed during the course of the conference. Any point that the delegate has to convey has to pass it via the vice chairperson. The ILO is not a parliament, hence parliamentary phrases like points of information, points of personal privilege, motions, caucuses, points of inquiry are all not in order. The conference will begin with opening statements drafted by individual delegates. They can add their representative party and state on the speaker's list. In their opening statements, the delegates must clearly explain the stand on the agenda at hand.
Following the opening statement, the discussion of the draft convention will be conducted. Here, only the vice chairpersons are allowed to speak. The draft convention will be a resolution drafted by the Bureau members that will be riddled with errors. It is the delegates' duty to find faults and make amendments to the draft resolution. Each amendment will either be agreed upon by consensus or by voting. Rules on voting. Voting is a procedure traditionally followed in the ILO. When there is discrepancy between 2 or more delegates or parties on a certain paragraph or amendment which cannot be resolved via consensus, voting can be conducted. If there are an equal number of delegates in each party, voting is quite simple. Each amendment is passed via a majority of at least 51%. If an equal number of delegates are in each party, the vice chairperson can declare the stance of their party on the vote. Then 2/3 majority is achieved.
If an equal number of delegates is not present in each party, then a weighted system of voting is required and will be calculated by the chair. Finally, after the draft has been debated upon and discussed thoroughly, the ILO will adopt the draft. For the adoption, a vote is necessarily conducted. Here, a majority of 2/3 is essential for the convention to pass. Following the adoption, the delegates and the parties can explain their votes and why they voted for or against a particular amendment.
Each session begins with a roll call, wherein the Bureau member will call out the names of the member states in alphabetical order. Delegates are expected to say present and voting when the country has been called out. The roll call is the first thing you do in the committee. It is very important to be on time for roll calls. It helps set the majority for the committee, that is the majority of votes required to pass anything in committee. It also shows how punctual and organized you are. In case the delegate arrives late, he or she is expected to send a note to the chair confirming the presence. After the initial roll call has been taken, the opening statement will be opened up. In the opening statement, the delegates are supposed to give a speech about the description of their appointed positions, stance on the issues that are to be discussed in the committee. The opening statement is the moment the whole committee gets to know about your research and your country's stance on the topic. Think of it as a first impression. Your position paper provides the basic information to include in your speech. The speech time will be pre-decided by us, but I advise you to keep it between 45 to 60 seconds. Should you exceed the time limit, we may have to cut short your speech so as to ensure that every speaker on the list gets a chance to voice their opinion. Make sure you take the chance, use the raise hand feature, and let us recognize you. This is your chance to speak, to make your voice heard. This is the time for you to start making those speeches, defending your positions, protecting your positions, sovereignty, giving suggestions, showing the amount of research you have done. Try to stay attentive at all times during committee sessions. It will be great to find out the different views and each country's stance on the topic. Facts gathered during the opening statement can be very helpful for your formal, informal, and informal resolution writing and lobbying. Each delegate would be getting a privilege of asking one question from any delegate during the opening statements. For this, I suggest you all to have a thorough research on your allocations, but not limited to it.
The topic of the committee is eradication of forced labor, which is a topic that is affecting the present generation both physically and mentally. Lately, forced labor has been noticed in some form in almost every country. Hence, it is imperative that we discuss ways and means of controlling this menace. And in my opinion, we have got one of the best forums to battle this growing problem. Forced labor exists in various forms in different parts of the world. To name a few, the entrenched, bonded labor systems in certain parts of Asia, slavery related practices most seen in parts of Africa, and debt bondage are examples of the existing forms of forced labor. In numerous other countries, domestic laborers are trapped in situations of forced labor, and in many cases, the employers restrain the laborers from leaving, using threats and violence. In certain parts of Europe and North America, not only women and children, but also men are victims of trafficking for labor and sexual exploitation. In some cases, the country governments also call for forced labor for political purposes, for example, as a punishment for expressing one's political views or having participated in strikes.
Delegates, for this virtual conference, a certain code of conduct is expected to be followed by you. Your video should be on and your mic should be muted unless you're called upon to speak. Please do not take part in any unparliamentary actions. As this is online, we cannot supervise with whom you talk to and how you talk to them. Do not respect your fellow delegates in the name of competition. Remember, we are all here to have fun and an educational experience. Finally, we encourage you to pursue these topics enthusiastically. Do your research wholeheartedly. We are looking forward to hearing your new and creative ideas. Do not hesitate to give your opinion on anything being discussed. Be confident and be ready to be actively engaged in the committee discussions. Be patient with your research and take time to prepare your position papers. Like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Also, in case of any questions, do feel free to contact any of us as we are here to help you. Good luck to all of you. We sincerely hope that you have a memorable and more importantly, educational conference. We are looking forward to meeting you all soon. Thank you.